Hello, everyone. Welcome into the field, on the field in the Superdome in New Orleans. My name is Brandon Adams for part 2 of our Kroger Kickoff. Getting ready for the Sugar Bowl between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Baylor Bears. I'm going to step aside in a moment, give you a chance to see what's happening on the field. To be honest with you, there's actually a little less happening now than there was a moment ago. Official Georgia warm-ups really haven't started yet. We did see some of the quarterbacks working a little earlier. I got a chance to see Dwan Mathis kind of running around and certainly having a good time. But obviously still a ways away from being able to be a full participant in playing football. But nice to see Mathis enjoying himself out there and throwing the ball around, just given the fact that of what he's been through over the course of the last year. And obviously he hopes in 2020, and all Georgia fans do as well, that he's much healthier and able to tell a much different story on this upcoming new year. And it was really fun to see him a moment ago kind of going through some pregame warm-up stuff, throwing the ball around as the other Georgia quarterbacks were as well. Also spotted on the field a moment ago, not in uniform, but there have been some question about his availability and whether or not he was even in New Orleans. That's Georgia wide receiver Trey Blunt. Was not wearing any kind of uniform or anything like that, but was on the field, apparently obviously in New Orleans. So you can add that to the list of people who are here. Some initial questions about whether or not Blunt was here or not, but he was spotted on the field here a little earlier. As I told you during part 1 of our Kroger Kickoff, when the Georgia team arrived and made their way through for the final dog walk of the year, we saw 2 injured players. Some Georgia players who are dealing with injury, apparently not going to be here in New Orleans, apparently choosing to go through their recovery in Athens. But 2 of the guys injured who are here, Dominic Blaylock, obviously dealing with the ACL tear, going back to the SEC Championship. He participated in the dog walk. He is here. Lawrence Cager also participated in that dog walk. He is here despite the fact that his injury has ended his career in a Georgia uniform. Let me step away here for a moment. We'll see if we can give you a chance to see what you can see here on the field right now going through these warm-ups. The Red Coat Band just to my left. Kind of a funny moment a moment ago. There's Dwan Mathis. There he is right there. Coming right back into your screen. Good job by our on-site cameraman, B.J. Sweeney, catching up with that. Nice to see Mathis having a good time here. Going through and getting a chance to see some of this kind of stuff. You see Rodrigo Blankenship on the other end of the field. His final game in a Georgia uniform, he's doing some of that. Maybe we can come over here and get a little closer shot of Dwan Mathis, since he's pretty close to being in our field of vision. We'll see if we can see, there's Mathis there in the end zone. We'll watch Dwan Mathis here for a moment as part of part 2 of our Kroger Kickoff. No doubt Dog fans would like the chance to see a little more from him, and he's in gym shorts, so not a player in this game, but having a good time on the field. And for Georgia fans kind of curious about where things do stand with Mathis, getting a chance to see him on the field is certainly a good example of that. It also kind of works out that right now there aren't a whole lot of other players on the field other than that. So following Mathis seems about as good as anything here at the moment. The Georgia specialists on the other side, including Rodrigo Blankenship. Maybe we can get a chance to swing over there and see Blankenship pretty close to midfield, getting ready to continue practicing the field goals. Yeah, you kind of see him right there in the center of your screen. We'll zoom in and get a nice shot of him as Blankenship continues to work out and go through his paces. Final time in a Georgia uniform for Rodrigo Blankenship, something that he spoke about on social media here this week. Obviously emotional for a lot of these guys as they get ready to say goodbye to their Georgia teammates and to Georgia fans who've appreciated them so much and shown that appreciation. Of course, Rodrigo, Hot Rod, one of the most popular players that Georgia has produced in quite some time. And no doubt that's an example of this once again. He'll get huge cheers from the Georgia fans who've made their way here, who are here for this. They'll be loving the idea of saying goodbye to Rodrigo Blankenship, taking that opportunity very seriously. More of the workouts from some of the specialists and Georgia quarterbacks continue. I do see Ryan Trouble Davis. That's also a guy whose injuries have kind of prevented, and you see him right there, number 12, right there with the white Georgia jersey and the black sweatpants. That's a guy that we haven't been able to see a whole lot this year. He's, much like his senior year in high school, has dealt with injuries a lot this season, but getting a chance to kind of go through the work here on the field in the Superdome. So Ryan Trouble Davis, a lot of Georgia fans have asked about him. You get a chance to see him right there on your field there for a moment. So the team at large still getting dressed, still getting ready to come out, but there are some Georgia guys here, and they continue to do their thing. Alfred McCrary, also spot Harris Jackson on the field. I saw him a little earlier. I don't see him right this second, but I did see him a little earlier. You hear some cheers coming on the other side of the stadium as some of the Baylor players are coming out for more of their warm-up, so that's going to be going on here. We got a few more minutes. Stephen Brown says he's predicting a 41-14 Georgia win. Obviously, this is the first time these two teams have played since 1989, the season opener and the debut at the time of Georgia coach Ray Goff. His first game as UGA coach was against these Bears. Was it Grant Taff on the other sideline? Does that sound right? Y'all can check my math on that, but I believe that may be who that is. More fun here from Ryan Davis there on your screen. Good to see him. Somebody said they saw Kieras earlier. I saw him a minute ago. I don't see him now, though. He may have gone in. Jill Cobb-Burke talking about Keely Ringo on Saturday. Yeah, so obviously we're doing Sugar Bowl tonight, but I'm hoping to be back in Atlanta by tomorrow to be there when Darnell Washington makes his announcement, go live on video for that later on in the evening. Hoping for some good news with five-star running back Zach Evans, and we'll be back at it on Saturday as well for the five-star cornerback Keely Ringo. All of that on the way on Dog Nation video channels. And, of course, our buddy Connor Riley is in Orlando for the Under Armour All-American game. Jeff Sintel was there. He's in San Antonio now for the All-American Bowl, as it's known as now. That's where Ringo will go on Saturday, Evans and Washington tomorrow from Orlando. So we've got big-time coverage of all of that as Georgia also gets ready to play in the Sugar Bowl here tonight. Rick Newell saying, "Go Dogs." Appreciate that. Kurt Vandeford says, "I hope that Fromm lights it up, then announces he's coming back." A lot of Georgia fans would certainly love for that to be true. No question about that. Let's see if we can get some YouTube comments. Earlier, the YouTube weren't really working too well. We'll see if we can get some of those. We appreciate you being a part of our Kroger Kickoff, by the way. Those of you getting ready for a game-watching party tonight, maybe your own kind of localized tailgate. I know you always enjoy using Kroger for that, and certainly tonight was a good opportunity for you to do just that. We appreciate Kroger helping us kick off every weekend and obviously kicking off the start to the season here as well. We're getting ready to say goodbye to you here as a part of this edition of our Kroger Kickoff. Don't forget, there'll be plenty of coverage throughout the game at the forum at forum.dognation.com. Make sure you check that out. After the game, we'll be right back here for the Pedal Window postgame show. Check out the Dog Nation video channels, including YouTube, for player interviews and what folks say after the game. A lot on the line for Georgia. A lot of curiosity about new-look offensive line. Potential final game for some of the juniors who face big decisions. Definitely a final time to watch a few of these seniors. So no shortage of storylines. We'll look forward to covering all of them for you. Thanks for being here on the Kroger Kickoff. We hope you enjoy the Sugar Bowl between UGA and Baylor. I'll see you after the game for the Pedal Window postgame show, during the game at the forum at forum.dognation.com. Happy New Year. We'll look forward to speaking to you then.